been a while since I made a proper collection update video, and we've moved house recently, so I thought I'd quickly update you guys and show you how far the collection has come. So I've still got the same rack that I had before, but I've had a few new additions, but I have some better plans for this room. So basically I have a new office. Here's my desk. We've only just moved in a few weeks ago, so it's a little bit messy, so my wife's sewing stuff is in here at the moment, but eventually I plan to have that whole back wall with snake cages. So on the left side I want a few green tree python cages, and I might keep that rack on the right and do things with that, and then I'd have that whole thing for snakes, and then on the left I'd make a desk just for my wife, and then on the right I'm going to make a desk for my PC and things, so that it will have space to fit both of us and the snakes in, so that the room doesn't get wasted just for snakes or just for an office. So yeah, so that's the plan for the room. But for now, we've just got the same rack that we had before. So onto the snakes themselves. I've got the green tree python. This one's still happy, is still getting along in the same cage that we had before. It's getting much bigger, but it still hasn't shown any signs of wanting to turn green yet. So it's still quite yellow. It's gotten brown flecks on it that it didn't have before, but it's definitely not any signs of green. Yeah, so it's still doing well in the same cage. It has the branch grass, the 2 water bowls. I did actually see it drinking from the bottom water bowl the other day, which was something I was worried about. That's why it has the second water bowl there, but now I can take that out now that I know that it does it properly. So this cage does the job for the moment. When the snake is bigger, we'd like to get into a bigger cage similar to this, but obviously this one would be a bit small. I have noticed a bit of bowing on the edges of the tank here, where because I've used it for quite extreme moisture and it's not usually made for that, it started to bow out a bit at the bottom, but that's fine. I thought that something like that might happen. I just decided to use it anyway. Yeah, so that's the green tree python. I'm going to move on to the next snake. So I've got some new additions here. 2 of these. These are European grass snakes. Their scientific name is natrix. And these guys are doing quite well. These are captive bred. I'm not sure with the regulations of catching these guys, but these are both captive bred, and as far as I know, that's fine. You're allowed to do stuff with that as long as you don't profit from them in any way. So these are just pets. I'm not going to try and breed them and sell them or anything like that. They're just pets for now. And here they are. They're really quick, so I'll see if I can catch them on camera for a bit. So I've got 2. I don't know if they're male or female or anything like that, but I got 2 from a friend of mine, and they're doing well. You can see that they got quite a big lump in them. They both ate pinkies last night. I managed to feed them 2 pinkies each so far, which I'm quite chuffed about, because I don't know, catching lots of frogs and fish and things like that didn't seem like a lot of fun to me, so I'm quite glad that they've moved on to pinkies. I had to cut it quickly there because the grass snakes started escaping. But yeah, so they're good pets. They're very different from any of the other snakes that I've kept. They're really, really active. They digest their food really quickly, whereas most other snakes I've kept maybe a week, then they'll be done with the food they've eaten and they'll defecate and everything. Whereas these guys, 3 days, they're good to go again. It's very strange. But they are far more active than normal snakes, so that's probably why they have a high metabolism. But yeah, they're pretty cool. I like having lots of different types. It makes keeping snakes more exciting as opposed to just the same thing over and over. Cool. Anyway, that's these guys. And I've got them in these locking containers just because I've done the thing of having to run around the house and try and find snakes that have escaped, and I refuse to do that again. So I make sure that I get these tubs that lock properly so that I don't have to worry about them escaping. And then let me quickly get the other new arrivals. They're also little. I was really excited about these guys. I've wanted to keep these since I left South Africa. And And these are apparently nothing. Hold on. There it is. So these are African brown house snakes. This is not the normal coloration, this is the T negative albinos. I got these from Eric Patterson, who breeds house snakes up in Scotland. So this is what my favorite one has, really nice markings on him. Him or her have, we believe that they're females, but you can't really tell that well when they're this small. So anyway, yeah, I really like these. These are the first snakes that I ever had. I started keeping snakes with going behind my friend's house and catching these guys in the wild. Well, obviously the brown wild color, not these albinos, but these are definitely awesome snakes to keep. They eat pretty much anything. They're just so hardy. You can see this one has a big pinky in him, or her. Yeah, so that's the one. That's also hiding. And the other one is not enjoying that. Alright, let's not upset it too much. Come here. Okay, there you go. So the other one looks very similar. It doesn't have quite the same pattern. The dots on this one are more small and the edges of them more diffuse, but it's still very pretty. And this is also a T negative albino. I believe the T negatives are more orangey and more caramelly, and the T positive is more yellow, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Eric Patterson has a good book out on house snakes if you want to find out more about them. These are the house snakes that I'm looking after for one of my South African friends. I believe he got the two brown ones originally for Eric, and then another one, and I believe this big T positive albino female is back to him to replace another one. I don't know the story exactly, but anyway, these are going back to a friend, so I'm just looking after them for now. So yes, let's have a look at this big girl. She's a T positive albino female, and it's a bit difficult to tell comparing her to the babies because she's an adult, but again, I believe that the T positive is more of the yellowy one, but I could be wrong on that. And there's a little male. You can see that he's in the blue. He's got the grey eyes. In house snakes, the males are usually much smaller than females. And then there's a big girl over here. And that's between his color and her color. That's usually what we would find when we went snake catching in South Africa. That sort of dark brownish color. Sometimes it'll be a bit lighter, sometimes a little bit more reddish, but from the area that I was, from Zululand, that would be the color that we would usually see. I'll quickly show you that it's quite easy to tell tell males from females in house snakes. So if you look at her tail tapers off quite quickly. So it starts at the cloaca and then it pretty much goes small from there. It's quite a long tail, but you can see that it tapers off quite quickly. And the same with this girl's tail. It tapers off straight away. So if I grab the male, he will have a really long tail, but you can see that his bulges out just after the cloaca, and that's obviously for the hemipenes. But so with these, obviously there's the size of the animal, that's a good way to tell. The males have slightly longer tails and you can see them bulging. I believe it's a similar case with corn snakes, although I'm not as good at telling with them. But anyway, so yeah, these guys are quite easy to tell male from female, and it's just been great having them in collection again. The house snakes are currently in the male royals cage. The male lesser, he was in there, but I put him in with the female lesser, and I've put the house snakes in there for the meantime, just before I give them back to my friend. I think I'm going to give them back to him next week, so they won't be in there that long. So this is my cinnamon girl. She has gotten quite big since I last made a video. She's pretty much overtaken the male, slightly bigger than him. She's been the best feeder that I've had out of all the royals. The male just stops eating for ages at a time. The big female, because I had her in with the male, sometimes she would stop feeding for a while, sometimes she would eat, but this little one has just eaten solid the whole time, so solidly. So I'm quite chuffed with her. She's doing really well. Yeah, she's just a great pet. So she's growing, she's happy, everything's fine with her. She just shed recently, yeah, and she's growing nicely. These are my last two snakes. This is the male lesser. Yeah, he's in with the female because, I don't know, I thought we'll throw them together, see what they do. I actually did manage to catch them copulating the other day, which was quite exciting. So maybe they'll breed, maybe they won't. It doesn't really matter. They're great pets, and if they do breed, that'll be a bonus because there's a chance that I could get a little blue-eyed leucistic, but if they don't, then that's fine as well. So he's doing really well, despite going off of food for ages at a time. He hasn't lost any weight, and yeah, he's just a healthy little snake, and he seems to be getting the job done. Yeah, I only observed them twice copulating, but I assume that it's happened more times than that, and if it hasn't, then that's fine as well. And this is my female. She might be a little bit small for breeding, but she's the right age. She's about 3 now, and yeah, if she's ready to breed, she'll breed. If she isn't, she won't. I'm not being too crazy with them or cycling them or anything like that. They're in the cage. The temperature's set to what it always has been. We've got the central heating on, so whatever happens, happens. I'm pretty fatalistic when it comes to these guys. I've just let them do their own thing. So yeah, again, I'm not a breeder. I'm primarily a keeper. If I do breed along the way, great. If I don't, who cares? They're still awesome snakes and they're my pets. Yeah, so these guys are in together. I would have separated them out a few days ago, except the house snakes are in the male's cage. But when those go back, then he'll have his cage back for a bit. I'll see if they both want food. And yeah, they're doing well. The female has gotten massive. She's obviously now breeding size. But anyway, so that's my collection. It's grown a little bit. Well, actually it's doubled since the last video, and that's mainly because we own our own house now, and I don't have to ask anyone's permission other than my wife's to get more snakes, so that's pretty good. I'll probably get some more. I've been conflicted because I want to get more green tree pythons because they're my favorite snake, but there's also merit to getting different snakes because lots of different snakes makes it more interesting if you just have the same one. So if I had all royals, it would get really, really boring. But now that I have all the different ones, it's actually more exciting keeping them, and I'm more motivated to look after them properly and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, maybe get a few more different ones. Might get a gecko or something like that. Now that we have the space and we don't have to ask permission, that the floodgates are opened, I can get anything I want. So might start seeing some weird updates from me with weird new reptiles, but we'll just see what the future brings. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll try and update as more things happen. If they do end up breeding, I'll make more videos about that. Thanks very much. Cheers.